Yeah.
Can you all see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. So I call this imagineering at warp speed using generative AI. Right. So I want to talk about generative AI and how it connects to disruptive innovation, which is not intuitively obvious. So which type of AI do you really desire? So the way the program works is you all have to answer me. I will keep asking questions. Since there's only few of you, you can unmute and say, which type of AI do you really desire? If you're posting on the chat box, then I need to figure out how to access the
The
chat.
first one, Sukumar. Easy to use, easy to find.
Okay, that's what you think you want. Okay. Anybody else?
Something which
It will
makes
be
our
helpful if I get few responses. Sorry, go ahead.
something which makes our current life a lot more easier and also helps us to look forward for complex things which we kind of put aside because it needs a lot of effort, right? If it could help both sides, it'll be great, is what I feel.
Yeah, but I forced you down a choice, right? Everyday AI or game changing AI. Okay, in the interest of time, I'm going to go forward. You might have all seen the viral report from MIT, which came a few weeks ago, that says 95% of the Gen AI projects fail to deliver the ROI. Now, I've been researching this for a long time. I've been working in AI innovation for a long, long time. So this, I believe, is because we tend to be more everyday AI focused. In fact, I think all of us are already doing that. For a meeting, you're generating ideas, you're reformatting your email, or maybe you're generating a blog post, summarizing documents, generating images. That's the kind of things we are generally doing. I believe that with disruptive innovation principles, we can create game-changing AI, which is where the real ROI is going to come from. Let's see what we can do on that. Now, if I tell you that Gen AI is a Swiss Army knife, you will all agree with me, right? It's versatile. It can do many things. But I'll ask you a question. Do you think generative AI is a smart intern, or is it an Einstein at your desk? You can either say yes or E on the chat box, or you can unmute and speak.
It's a smart intern to begin with, gradually growing on to become a Einstein.
Okay, so I know that many of you are consultants and you will give a consulting type response. You make a choice. In fact, you can say, what do you think it is? Is it either a smart intern or Einstein?
At this point in time, smart intern only, Kumar.
Okay. What about the others? Intern. Yeah, Jaya is saying intern. I see a few of you on the call. It'll be helpful to be interactive. Otherwise, it could be boring. It's a Saturday. Anburaj intern. Okay. Anybody else? Anupama Sarma. Are you the Anupama from Prayojana?
Yes, Sukumar. Maybe she's on mute.
Mute. Okay. All right. I will go further. So we have studied 1,000 disruptors to reverse engineer their formula, as well as the disruptive innovations that we have done as a team. There are these 8 competencies that we have isolated. In each of them, generative AI scores in the top 1 to 10% of humanity. Now, I have been saying Einstein at your desk since ChatGPT 3.5 came. Right now, the age of ChatGPT 5, Dario Amodei has said country of geniuses in the data center. He has gone much farther than Einstein at your desk. Now, we work a lot on mindsets, and I believe that this is a mindset that you may possess. It's rather like a self-fulfilling prophecy for those of you who have a psychology background. If you believe that it's a smart intern, that is the only kind of output you're going to produce. But if you believe that it's an Einstein at your desk, you can do better. But then the regular prompting is not going to get you there. So we do teach a version of prompt engineering that can produce Einstein at your desk type of results. I'm not very sure, given the time today, I can show you that, but we will try. Dario Amodei, for those of you that don't know, is Anthropic CEO, the famous Claude model, which is, I believe, one of the best right now. Now, on the chat box, can all of you post whether you have heard of Make Real, TL Draw, and Make Real? You can say Y or N. You needn't have heard about it, but I'm curious whether you've heard about it. Okay. That's fine. So, never. Okay, never. Fine. Okay. So I have seen that even people with tech background haven't heard about it. So I'm going to play you a short video, the first video of the day. Let's see, I can make the technology work. Can you confirm that you can hear and see the video, please?
Able to hear the audio,
But not the video, is it?
not yet.
Now?
We can see a slide which has an allowed in like kind of a thing, right? That's what you're referring to?
Yeah, that is the video, yes. Do you see the
Yes.
Make Real magic of TL Draw?
Yes, we can see.
Yeah, it's a
Yes.
video. Please watch. Yeah. That's just the cover slide.
Sometime in late November 2023, I was on Twitter one day and I saw this viral tweet from Kevin Can, and it said, "I need to go lie down now." So I was curious what Kevin has discovered, and he created this demo. So first he draws these two sliders, scale, rotation, and then draws a box, and then clicks the Make Real button. And within few seconds, he has an actual app which allows him to control the scale and rotation of the box. Brilliant, I thought. I decided to dig deeper and I've landed on Steve Ruiz, the founder of TL Draw, and his long Substack post on how this brilliant Make Real button came to life. And in that post, he has given several examples, brilliant examples, I should say, of which I like this compound interest calculator and the piano, both of which I'm going to show you now.
For those of you that have music background, he drew the piano and it came alive. Fully functional. This one is clearer.
AI going to take our job? This is TL Draw. They rolled out this button called Make Real, where you just put your things on the canvas as you want. And then I made a compound interest calculator. Let's select it. And there's a button called Make Real. It's supposed to give you HTML, CSS, and JavaScript out the other end. Let's click on Make Real. Let's see what we got here. Give it a sec to generate. I had to put my own OpenAI API key in to make it work. I don't know. Is it gonna? Some of the demos I've seen is pretty impressive. So this is not a PNG. This is actual code working here. Let's see if it actually works. In 10 years, you will have 114,000. So if I change that to 25, does it increase? expected rate of return. Let's increase that to 10%. Increases it. Oh my gosh, that's unreal. Let's look at it. Doesn't seem like the actual contribution charts worked. Let's give it a copy. So script to Tailwind. Not sure if that will work. DOM content loaded. Calculate interest function. It's pretty impressive. Not gonna lie, unbelievable to be able to just mock it up as quickly as you want, and for it to just kick that out the other end.
So I did my own silly app, but this is from November 2023. Now what you can do with this stuff is, this TL draw is nothing, right? So that is the state we have reached. Any reactions to this technology on the chat box, or you can unmute, please.
Seems unbelievable, Sukumar, Shankar
Yeah.
here. Yeah, because I haven't heard of this till now, and I'm pretty amazed and stunned. I think
Yeah.
it's cool.
If you have been stunned by this, which is what I was in November 2023, now I can, if there is time, I will show you some things that will literally make you jump out of your chair. That Make Real has been made to look like a toy. So this is the origin of the phrase. This is when we coined the phrase Imagineering at warp speed. Warp speed is a Star Trek term. Imagineering is Disney's term. So which combined imagination and engineering. So let's quickly look at the business case for GenAI. I'm not going to be able to spend a lot of time on this because I want to get to the principles of disruptive innovation, which is the core topic for today. So we look at it from two viewpoints. We believe that if you adopt the kind of approaches we are talking about, a Fortune 500 company can save at least, not save, business impact of $500 million. And we look at it through two viewpoints. One is an innovation viewpoint. The other is a CIO IT viewpoint. As Lata read out in the intro, I was the global CIO and head of innovation at Cognizant. So it's IT and innovation both are very close to my heart. So we're going to cover that, right? So we believe that we can spot disruptive opportunities and bring them to life rapidly. And we can probably shrink the IT backlog. Now you can make a note of this URL. In fact, I will send you all these slides. You can click on this calculator and you can plug in your known numbers. It's a store nothing architecture. You can, in fact, once the page loads, you can turn off your Wi-Fi and you can plug in your own organization numbers and calculate the ROI. It's a very conservative ROI calculator. So this is the viewpoint of disruption. This follows the red ocean, blue ocean strategy framework. Most organizations spend time chasing disruptors, right? If you don't catch up with them, you get obliterated. But where I see the blue ocean is almost anything we do internally in any company of shape or form or size, we can do 2x to 10x better. I'll give you my own company's example. To take a client team through from scratch to a working innovation, it used to take us 16 weeks. Now we do it in 8 weeks. In fact, there are programs we do 4 weeks. And in fact, we can do it in 2 days also. So this is so dramatic that anything we do, you have to at least think you can do 10x better. I just put 2x so that if there are any debaters in the room, they don't start arguing with me. But I believe the number is more towards 10x. So this is the innovation viewpoint. If you study the CIO surveys of the last 25 years, which I have studied, the biggest thing is the IT backlog. Demand for IT far outstrips supply. And it's only becoming bigger and bigger because now with generative AI, the expectations is even more. So it's constantly like a dog chasing its own tail. So if you look at the standard software development life cycle, can anybody tell me when does software create value? Assume an agile model, which is what most companies use. And a typical MVP short project will be like 4 to 6 months. At what point does software create value?
Third week or fourth week?
No. Think broadly about when does software actually create value? Anybody else? 3 or 4 weeks, you will have at best maybe user stories or maybe wireframes. You won't have software. Okay, in the interest of time. Only when it hits production. Exactly, Anupama. But something happens before even the software starts, which takes 6 to 9 months. What happens in that? What is that 6
Requirements
to 9
gathering.
months? Sorry?
Requirements gathering.
No, requirements gathering will start here once the IT life cycle starts.
Okay.
Before the IT life cycle starts, something else happens.
Evaluation, discussion, brainstorming.
Business case. You have IT, as I told you, is demand backlog, right? So IT is not going to pick up any project that you wish. You have to establish the business case. So as a CIO in Cognizant, it used to take almost 9 months. Of course, the things that hit my desk are $5 to $10 million, and nothing in a Cognizant which is so large that any big project would take that much. Right? So this is the issue. So for 10 to 15 months, you won't see anything. You can't use it. Yeah, you will see interim artifacts, but you can't tell what's going to happen. Now, this is a joke that has been circulating since I joined the industry. Can anybody tell me, and I want you to focus on the first panel and this panel, and tell me, what do you infer? Forget the rest of it. It's merely explaining how the communication gap happens. Obviously, in a joke or a jovial fashion. Just focus on this, and tell me, what do you infer?
The customer who's going to use the end product might not necessarily know what he wants.
Exactly. Which is all of us in the room, right? We are all customers. So if you think broadly, we as human beings don't exactly know what we need. And even if you knew it, it is hard to explain it in a fashion that the others will get it. This is why software is very hard. In fact, I was, to my shock and dismay, when I became the CIO, several projects stuck in UAT because the business said, this is not what we wanted. I told them, look, you gave the requirements. They said, yeah, that is true, but you all don't know how to develop software. So they just threw it back at us. So this is what is happening. This is why it is hard. Now what we are saying is we can disrupt it by changing this, and this is what we call as IWS. In 8 weeks, sorry? This is what we call as Imagineering at Warp Speed. In 8 weeks, you produce a limited production software and establish desirability and feasibility beyond doubt. So I'll give you an example. Early last year, we worked with a large IT services company to reimagine their intranet. We came up with an idea of an agentic intranet. Now you may say in September 2025, that is stating the obvious. At that time, it was still new. But what we did, instead of stopping there, we materialized the agentic intranet. And we presented it to the CEO, and he approved $1 million investment in 30 minutes. And I asked him what his desirability score was. He said greater than 8. And feasibility had already been established because we produced the working software. Then you go into the traditional MVP cycle. I don't know why this clicking program, there is something wrong. Yeah. Then you go into the MVP. Now, previously, let's say you were able to generate 100 features in your engineering MVP. Now you can generate maybe 1,000 or 5,000 features. Because you're not going to code, you're going to generate the code. So all around, the software engineering life cycle can be disrupted. So now we will go into the frugal disruptive innovation principles. Okay. How am I doing on time? Lata and Aarti.
I was thinking we can kind of go until 12:30, 12:45, and then use the last 10,
Okay.
15 questions.
Okay, sure. We can finish. So the first thing, like I said, right, we are big on mindsets because we believe that that's what is stopping us. And the famous statement about mindsets is my co-founder Kumaran who says this, right? If the availability of the treadmills is the only thing that stopped us from becoming fit, everybody will be fit because within 50 feet of everybody there's a treadmill. In fact, I had one at my home. I used it as a clothes hanger. I got frustrated and sold it, threw it away. So it is not the availability or knowledge or content or tools that changes things, it's the mindset. So we are going to delve into the mindset. And before that, I want to ask you a question. What stops you all from implementing disruptive innovations in your respective organization? If you are an individual solopreneur type of thing, you can talk about your own organization, single person organization. What stops you from implementing disruptive innovation? I need a few responses. Either unmute or chat box, please.
Budget.
Budget, okay.
Occupied with completely day-to-day work.
Occupied with day-to-day work, exactly. What else? I need a few more responses, please. Anupama, Jaya.
Primarily our own thought process or mindset, right?
Our
Failing
own
to
mindset.
look beyond our tactical things, right?
Yeah, agreed. Okay. I don't know if Jaya is so set in own ways. Yeah, correct, Anupama. Okay. So we'll go forward. If we had more time and we have a little bit few more people, we would have got all of them. This exercise of barriers to innovation, I started doing in 2009 when I became head of innovation in Cognizant. I got hold of a bunch of Cognizant associates and asked them why they don't innovate. And out popped this list. Now, in the last how many ever years, I have tried this various hands-on exercise across the world. Starting from the Fortune 50 companies to the smallest of companies, the same barriers keep coming. Now, why that happens is a topic for a different discussion, but you can say most of us in the corporate world are in the same set patterns of thinking. This might explain why startups do disruptive innovation and the big companies struggle with it. So we'll go further into the mindset. And this is the favorite thought experiment of mine. If you have ever been in a session of mine, you would have definitely heard this. So pardon me for my repetition. Imagine that tomorrow morning you open the door to your house and you see a newborn baby such as that, screaming its guts out. What is the first thing you will do? This.
Try to pacify it and then look for whose kid it is.
Yeah. Try to pick up the baby and pacify it, right? There is an option to shut the door and go back to sleep because technically we are not required to take care of a random baby that appeared on our doorstep. But almost no human being will take that step, which would be considered extremely cruel. So we will all pick up the baby. So that brings to us the most important finding from cognitive psychology: fault mode versus responsibility mode mindset. It's not my fault that the baby showed up, but I still take responsibility for it. Now, which mode do you think we typically operate in? F or R?
Fault mode.
Fault mode. Anybody else?
As you move higher up the ladder, I think the responsibility mode kicks in.
Okay, so I want you to give not a consulting answer. What do human beings typically display, F or R?
Fault mode.
Raj,
Sorry, two of you spoke at once. Jaya says R. Okay. So unfortunately, we are in fault mode. So I'll give you a day-to-day example. Let's say we hold this meeting in person. Let's assume that we have invited 50 to 100 Bitsians. And then, okay, let's say we are calling all the Chennai Bitsians to a local place. Few people come late, as it always happens. So you ask them, sir, ma'am, why are you late? What they will say?
Usual traffic.
Traffic. Exactly. Now, is that a fault mode or a responsibility mode response?
Fault mode.
Fault mode, exactly. So when you leave this meeting, if you sit and think about the transactions that happens in your life with your family, friends, colleagues, yourself, you will notice this fault mode impacting us in many ways, not just in innovation. Right now, let's go back and look at the barriers that you all posted. Which type of thinking did we all adopt? F or R? Quickly, please. These barriers.
Most of them are fault mode.
Yeah, exactly. It's all in fault mode. So if we all knew that this is the problem, why didn't we fix it? Now, unfortunately, the thing to think about is whoever came late, they were really facing the traffic, right? They were not lying. Yes, some people may lie, but most often there is traffic. Now, all these barriers that you all said, lack of time, lack of budget, they are real barriers. Now, the difference is the disruptors use creativity to overcome them. They face the same problem. Like I said, having studied disruptors, none of them had it easy. Right? To bring a disruptive innovation to market is the hardest thing. Every one of them go through their struggle, which the rest of us in fault mode wouldn't either have not even started, or we would have fallen off in between somewhere. So to stick to that requires responsibility mode mindset. So this is the first thing. Now I'm going to show you some examples from the problems that we have helped clients solve, right? This is a 100-year-old iconic company who I obviously cannot name. They have this sort of a setup. On the one side, their customers have entered parameters for the onboarding. On the right-hand side, they are extracting data from the supporting documents like passport, driving license, already using ICR and OCR technology. And 400 analysts were doing this job. The company had not noticed it until our pod team came. So this is one example. These are all real examples from what we have done so far. We actually have maybe 100 or 150 examples so far. How do I unify processes? How can I create better sales? What can I do? How can I create the deal strategy? How do I solve infrastructure issues just from one line description? How do I teach concepts to learners highly personalized according to their learning state and mindset? These are the kinds of things we have noticed. Now I'm going to play you a series of videos and I want you to see if you are able to spot anything. It's one video actually, a series of clips. So you have to pay attention carefully, otherwise you won't be able to see the pattern. First, let me get out of the share and go to the video. Are you able to hear and see the video?
Yeah.
Okay.
Need it quick? Download Zepto. 10-minute grocery delivery.
Those of you that are not very young, you would have used these devices. This has no sound, this clip. It seems so quaint typing on this tiny keyboard. They're doing a Google search. It's a music player. Writing an email. Again doing a Google search. This is how the back plane of our computer looks. This one I already covered. So what did you notice, if anything? You can unmute or you can post on the chat box. Disruption, okay. Jaya says disruption. Not very user friendly, okay.
Problems and the solutions.
Problems and the solutions, okay. Okay, so we'll go on further. Nobody noticed this. Common everyday pain points, up or down, okay. So we have studied, like I said, 1,000 disruptors. And our biggest finding is that disruptors don't solve problems. Because if you notice the series of videos on all the examples of disruption, we didn't notice the problem. If we had, we would have been the disruptor. Right? So this is the central insight of our methodology, that disruptors don't solve problems. Which begs the question then what do they do? How do they come up with these things? For that, we will dig deeper into the word problem. So please tell me, what is the definition of the word problem that you have in your head? You can unmute or you can post on the chat box. It's an issue, okay? I need a few more
Anything that
responses.
gives a suboptimal outcome.
Anything that gives a suboptimal outcome. Wow, that is the best definition I've heard. Something that impedes progress, issue that causes troubles. Okay, that's good.
Repeated issue.
Repeated issue. Okay. So we found something interesting, right? So problem is the most important word in corporate. In fact, in the English dictionary is in the top 25 most used words. You can't leave a corporate meeting without the word problem uttered even once. But we stumbled on the fact that there is no standard definition for the word problem that we all can agree upon, and we came up with this after a lot of research. The problem is an unmet expectation, somewhat like what you said, suboptimal. Or rather, wherever there are unmet expectations, there are problems. Now you go back into the video I played and all the disruptions that you have noticed. There was no unmet expectation. If you are in pouring rain trying to hail a cab and you didn't get it, you didn't think that that was a problem. That's how the taxi industry operated. Now, before Zepto came, Big Basket will tell you, hey, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m., I will come, you have to be there at home. We didn't see a problem. In fact, Amazon, they are like the gods of the industry, right? They won't even tell you when they come. They can come anytime and you have to be home. But none of us saw a problem. Right? So this is the repeating pattern. So now what do disruptors do? They spot something we decided to call performance undersupply. This is a new phenomenon that we spotted. And it can only be found through unimagined expectations. Zepto, 10-minute delivery. UPI, which is India's breakthrough disruptive innovation, instant payment. Uber, ride hailing, replaced by a GPS-based triangulation. So everywhere, what is the unimagined expectation of Uber? I want the car right here, right now, where I'm standing, when I'm standing. So this is the grammar. So if any situation you're in, you try to find the unimagined expectation, through that find the performance undersupply. We'll go more. I'll just dig deeper into problem. It turns out that problem is a mindset we have. We are always in the problem mindset. I mean, this is my 38th year in the IT industry. We are like, customer says something, yes sir, ma'am, we'll fix it. I used to be head of manufacturing and logistics for Cognizant in North America. I have lost count of how many times my customers have told me, your people are smart, but you are all order takers. I don't know if any of you have heard that from your customers. Any of you have heard that?
Please come again, sir. I know you guys are smart, but
You are all order takers.
this is something that I have heard for several Indians.
Yes, exactly. So this is, I used to ask my customers, like, what would make us proactive, right? So they will give some example. And I couldn't figure out how our people could think like that, right? We don't understand their business to the extent that we could be, probably. But then I found the answer. What they are looking for is performance undersupply mindset. On the right hand side, you can become a trusted advisor, partner, out of the box thinker, entrepreneurial, everything. Now, if you go back into your calendar and look, you are always on the left hand side. Because you are not aware that there is something called performance undersupply that you could spot. So we just merely do what we are supposed to be doing. Maybe we try to do that better and better. That we do. But then at the end of it all, at best you will get excellent from your customers. You will not get delight. Delight can be obtained only on the right hand side, because you have to do something unexpected to create delight. And it is likely the first use of any of these disruptions might have created delight for you. When we came across Zepto first, 10-minute delivery, we thought that's a marketing gimmick. That, come on, in this traffic, you're going to deliver in 10 minutes, give me a break. But we ordered. The guy showed up in the 8th minute at our door. And they consistently show up in 8 minutes. Now, please don't debate me on what they are doing is correct. Those delivery people are jumping over walls and things. We will not get into that. I'm talking about pure disruptive perspective. And two 18-year-olds created this innovation. And it has taken the market by storm, and every one of them have to follow what they did. They have materialized a 10 to 20,000 crore market out of thin air. Tremendous. So now I have lost count in my own life how many times I have displayed the problem mindset. So keep this in mind. Are you operating problem mindset, or we call PUX because performance under supply is a mouthful. PUX, performance under supply X-ray is what we call it. It's a X-ray vision. Now we go have industry after industry, right? Depending on whichever industry you're working in, every major innovation in every industry follows the principle of performance under supply. And we will talk about what our mentees did for this. Now that you are aware of the performance under supply, is this a problem or a performance under supply? What do you think? You can say P or PUX on the chat box.
Performance under supply.
It is. It's a P, they would have fixed it. Definitely a 100-year-old iconic company is not going to sit on waiting. So they would have fixed it. So the team, then this is part of our methodology to what is called as the PUX trim tab methodology. You draw the customer journey and find what we call as the trim tab or the highest leverage step, right? So that's what this was, waiting for the onboarding documents to be verified. Now all the team did was, hey, why can't I, the unimagined expectation was remove manual comparison, fully automated. And they were able to use the pre-trained models from Google. And this resulted in a new $100,000 project, and 350 analysts were reassigned to other jobs. Now, why was the 100-year-old iconic company sitting on it? Because there was nobody to challenge. This is how performance under supply is there everywhere. Why does this happen? We will not get into that. We'll skip through these. I want to play a short video to illustrate this performance under supply so that it ingrains in your mind even better. I'm going to play you another quick 1-minute video. Please tell me you can see and hear it. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. So what did IKEA spot? If you have bought a large piece of furniture for your house, you might have noticed it.
How does that fit into our place?
How does it fit into your house, right? The ambience, all that. And what did we do for that? We took measurements, we took pictures, tried to imagine to the best of our ability how it will fit. Is it a problem or a PUX?
It's a PUX.
It's a PUX because if it's a P, all furniture companies would have done it. So what is the unimagined expectation? Like you said, how can I fit the furniture right from my own house? Right? The unimagined expectations usually have an extreme nature to them. Right? You can't take a simple, you have to be at the extreme. Right? Instant payment, 10-minute delivery, furniture fitment right from your house. That's what spurs creativity. Then they use AR, which obviously uses AI. This is one of the first examples. And did IKEA invent AR? No, it's built into all your phones. Uber didn't invent GPS technology. Zepto didn't invent anything. So you don't have to invent anything to be a disruptor. That's a fallacy. So this Pux agent that we built, we gave this scenario and it found the problem. It found that this is the performance under supply. Visiting the various furniture stores, trying to visualize is hard. Now you may say that is analytical and generative AI may be able to do it good. But look at the first idea it generated. This is the very idea that IKEA came up with. Now those of you skeptics in the room will say, oh, that was part of the training data because IKEA already did it. And you might be correct. So now what I did is I asked the Pux trim tab agent to disrupt IKEA. What can I do better? And the first idea it generated, I jumped out of my chair. It says it will generate 3D models of the sofa with different designs, colors. I will fit it into your room and I will order the sofa. So me pecking at my tiny screen and trying to position the sofa and checking, that has been eliminated. Now this certainly has not been in the training database. No company has done this so far. So how did it come up with such an idea? This is the Einstein type of thinking. Its ability to come up with creative ideas is in the top 0.1% of humanity, according to my estimates and research that I've done. So what is the methodology? There is a methodology. We won't get into that. But I'm going to play a short video and end my session with that. Obviously, there's a question after this 1 minute video, and you would have been able to answer only if you have been paying attention so far. Okay. So let's see. Can you see and hear the video?
Yes.
Okay.
Now, here's a challenge. In 1 week's time, you will fill the room that I have given you. The best one wins the kingdom. The queen shall give gold to cover the expenses.
I know what to do to win the kingdom.
And he was proud of himself.
My brother is a fool. There's plenty of room on the top.
He filled the room so well that not even air could pass. And he was happy. The courtiers were concerned.
Sire, the third prince has done nothing so far.
He still has 1 more day. And on the 7th day,
Sir, I have filled the room.
So it's fairly easy to answer what the third son did smartly, but it is very hard to answer what the first 2 sons did wrong. And if you're paying attention, I mentioned what we do typically, which is where the first 2 sons fell into. Let's see who can answer.
I think the first two did what was expected.
Why? Correct. Why? Anybody else?
The first 2 fell trap, right? When fell into the trap, right? They say the queen will give money for whatever. So they were thinking in terms of what can I do, expensive things that I can buy and fill this room up with, right? But
the question is,
they
why
did not.
did they do that? You are right, but why
The
did they
first
do
two's mindset was to fill the room with
that?
some.
Why? Correct. Why? Aparna, Anupama, you are correct, but why? I gave you the answer. But obviously, I didn't deliver the answer in the form of a question, right? I told you what we typically do.
They just
I
follow.
gave you my own examples.
They followed the orders of their father strictly.
Correct. Correct. Why?
Because they were trying to solve for a problem. They did not see a performance under supply.
Ah, exactly. Brilliant. Who answered it?
Srivatsan.
Srivatsan. Excellent. That is the answer. So they have a problem mindset, which is what we do. Why we are not able to spot performance under supply? Same issue. Customer says problem, yes sir ma'am, we'll fix it. Now, those of you that said no resources, the first two sons spent all the gold. It is the third son who took the candle and the matches from the kitchen. He didn't spend any money. Because what is his unimagined expectation? Why should I fill anything solid? He looked at what the first two sons did and he was thinking for 6 days. He was not sleeping as the courtiers thought. So what do we need to be disruptive? We need correct mindset. We need to be in responsibility mode. Then we need to have the pucks mindset. We don't need money. In fact, if you have a lot of money, like the first two sons, they spent all the gold. Right? So resources are not the problem. Our thinking is the issue. With that, I stop my session, and there are these agents that you can play with. You can make a note of it. You can scan this QR code. I'll also send you these slides so you can consult them at your own pace. That's all I have. Over to you back, Lata.
This was super
Stop.
helpful. I think it got me thinking as well, because as you mentioned, on some aspects, while we try and understand why is the customer asking what they're asking, many a times, as you say, we try to kind of jump and solve the problem so that the immediate fire is at least put to ease. So this is super helpful. If we want to understand more about this, like would those links help us understand a little bit of reading, a little bit of an understanding on the Puck's model, or is that
Yes.
proprietary?
Yes. No, it's not proprietary. It's all open. I will share you the link. You can go through all our materials actually. I will show you. If we have few more minutes, you can go to this link and click on the Imagineering at Warp Speed. You will see this presentation there. You can download it. And I think, Lata, we are sending an email to everybody. You can include this link.
Sure. We'll also, as we put this recording up on our Bitsa YouTube channel, we'll kind of add the link there as well so that people could refer back and look at it.
So you can go to the agent hub, and everything we teach, there is an agent here. Obviously, we make money only if you engage our firm in your company. But it's okay. You can use it. And there is actually an agent, which is a teaching agent, which my colleague Sanjay built. Incidentally, is also a Bitsian. You can play with this agent and it will teach you. Let's say you didn't understand performance under supply. You can go here and you can tell whatever it is in your mind. It's in confidential. We can't see what you do with this. So you can spout anything you have in your mind that you have understood, and it will take you through a journey and teach you. So this is a teaching agent. This Puck Trim Tab agent is what I was talking about. So for example, I can say analyze a customer. These are some prefabricated conversation starters. So this one is the IKEA journey. So I don't know, it will do it always correctly. Sometimes it does. Ask for help from, because they are not clear what to do this. So let's see, smart in-store things. AR glasses. So it come up with these ideas. So you can try. You can give your own. Does anybody have a journey that you want to try from your own organization or business? Anybody? Or you're all tired and you want to leave the call, that's fine too.
When
How
you
about
say
finding a spiritual master or something for my
No,
spiritual
this
journey?
is more directed at the corporate world, sir.
Okay.
I wouldn't, it might do, but I have not tried it and I am not sure that this is the correct tool for that.
Okay.
Sorry, someone else was trying to say something. Okay, I take it that you
Yeah,
all
maybe
probably
we
want
will
to
just
take off.
go through this and try and add our customer pain point, right? That is gradually
Yeah, you have
when
to
we
think
do
in
it,
terms of
we
a
will.
customer journey, because customer pain point means that's a problem. That means you are in the problem world.
Okay.
Disruptive innovation doesn't come from the problem world, it comes from the pucks world. This is the central insight. You can prove me
Sure.
wrong. If you have a counter example, you can prove me wrong. I have not seen it so far. So
Valid.
don't go with the customer pain point, start with the customer journey. So you just give the customer journey name to the pucks agent, it will tell you where the opportunity is. Yeah.
Okay. So when you say customer journey, say suppose for example, one of my customer is stuck with a large incumbent, right? So their IT ops run ops is like in complete disarray or something like that, right? So when you say customer
So
journey,
what does that mean? So IT ops, take one IT ops journey that they are struggling with.
okay,
There is always a customer journey. Every process, there is a customer at the end of it. When we do the process view, we can't find performance under supply, because process view mixes stakeholders. So you look at things from a customer journey viewpoint.
okay,
For example, you can say
so
IT ops, their customers are not able to get the tickets resolved in time.
correct. They have P1, P2 every week, right?
So take one functional area. Is it network
Okay.
tickets? Is it functional tickets? Is it app tickets? Whatever. And draw that journey out. And it'll help you find the trim tab and give you ideas on how to solve that.
Perfect. Sure.
Okay. So that's all I have. I think I don't want to keep people waiting. So you can always contact me through LinkedIn. I can post you my phone number here. This is my WhatsApp phone number. I have only one number. So you can ping me on WhatsApp if you need my help. Thank you all.
Certainly.
All the best.
Sure.
Thank you, Sukma. Thanks everyone
Thanks a
for a
lot.
very
Kumar.
insightful session. Thank you.
Insightful as always. Yeah.
Thank you. Bye. Take care.
Thank you.